ladies and gentlemen, welcome to live stream Friday. I almost slipped into saying live stream Saturday, but it's not, because tonight we have the rarest of all things, even though it's been twice this year that we're going to be having a live stream Friday, and I don't have something for the intro in order to have the live stream Friday, so that's why we just went straight into Percy Johnson. So you might be able to tell, you might not, that I can actually see you tonight, which is rare, and I've been so used to not being able to see, and by the way, it's because I've had a haircut. I've been so used to not being able to see anything that now it almost feels weird that I haven't got hair in front of my face that I had to constantly brush out of the way. So yeah, we'll have the hair update a little bit later on, because I went to another place to have my hair cut, and yeah, they kind of told me what was going on with it, and it's going to be a work in progress in order to get my hair back to what it was before, or maybe a style that's a little bit more consistent with how I had it before, because the lengths are all different. But anyway, yeah, jumping into the live chat room. Hello guys, and let me give a few of you a shout out. We have Alison, Susie Q, Kevin Pink, Thistle, Momo, Billy, Melody Rocks, Laurie, Billy, Saxton, Hill, Bob, Cindy, Teresa, Howard, Tammy, Ro, Corey, and Bella's in there as well. Desert Deluge. Hello. So, as for what's going to be happening tonight on live stream Friday, who knows? And the reason for tonight's live stream is because it's my mum's birthday tomorrow, and I can see that Orlando has wished my sister a happy birthday. So, her birthday was in February, so a bit of a late happy birthday, but thank you anyway, Orlando. But it's my mum's birthday tomorrow night, hence why, and well, not tomorrow night, tomorrow for the whole day, but we're having a meal tomorrow night, so that's why we are live streaming tonight. And it's going to be funny for, maybe not that funny, but it's going to be interesting for people watching this live stream and then seeing Sunday night's video, because Sunday night's video I recorded in advance, because I knew that it was my mum's birthday and that things might kick off and I might need some extra time. So I've recorded that in advance, so it means that my hair is going to miraculously grow over the next 2 days, and then by Tuesday it'll be back to like this. So you look out for that on Sunday's video. And Sunday's video is going to be an interesting one, because I've already recorded it. I know exactly what goes on with it, and it was a video that I thought might actually get blocked, but it has uploaded and it's just copyright claimed rather than blocked at the moment, so hopefully that will last till Sunday, and then you can see exactly what I'm talking about now, but yeah, on Sunday night. So anyway, I'm going to get everything up on screen that I normally do, the names of my patrons who make this all possible in the first place. So thank you guys. You know who you are, and the foundation of everything that I do, as I always say. And as for the likes goal tonight, I'm actually going to just leave it blank maybe for a little while, because I don't know what... No... that the fill jam looks like on my screen, because it's really small, 2,371. Yeah, that's potentially a number we're never going to get to, but yeah, I think that's an exclamation mark, or it should be. But the question mark is for how many likes we're going to be aiming for in order to have the fill jam at the end of the live stream. I don't know. Maybe we can throw some numbers out there. I don't know what we had on the last live stream Friday, but it might have been, I don't know, around 350 or 400 or something. And Angela says, 325. Cindy says 300. And yeah, I'm just looking into the live chat room for number 350. Melody Rock, Cindy 300, Kevin 400, Corey 300. Right, so it seems between 300 and 400. So tonight we are going to be aiming for 350 likes. So it means that, yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And let me get the like comment up on screen as well, because that says we are at 220 so far, which is great. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. And if you can continue to do that, it'll be very much appreciated. We're looking for what 128 more people, I think. So there's the maths done early in tonight's live stream. As for what we're going to be doing on the live stream, just the normal stuff, really. I know this a live stream Friday is rare, so I don't know whether we'll have more time or less time, and maybe address some different questions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we will see. Now, is there a way? We've got the vote at the top of the live chat room in order to vote for tonight's cover video, but I'm wondering if there's a way to... Oh yeah, there is a Q&A thing, but that might replace the vote for tonight's cover video. So yeah, I won't do that at the moment. We'll let the vote go on for, I don't know, a little while. Or maybe I'll just look into the live chat room for questions as we go through the live stream. So let me get the donations tab up on screen, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So yeah, for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which is in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. You don't have to donate at all. So let me... Oh yeah, just thinking about the channel, what has been going on, and the shorts videos, I'm still releasing those, which are videos, obviously short videos of my big videos. So it means that people watching the shorts, like somebody commented today saying, the shorts video is too short to explain what you're talking about. But that's the point of the shorts videos, is that, I mean, I don't know where the referenced video shows up, but there should be a link to the video that you can click on to then watch the full video, which is between 15 and 20 minutes. So yeah, I saw another comment. Somebody said, what he's saying doesn't seem conclusive or something. And I think these people don't really watch the channel. They're just seeing the shorts and don't realize that what I'm saying isn't an opinion. I'm giving factual data and objective data. And they brought up an interesting point, because they said, if what this guy was saying or is saying is true about particular performers and performances, surely the mainstream media would pick up on it, or should pick up on it. And I did leave a reply to that particular comment to say that mainstream media has picked up on it, and not just in the UK, but in different countries. And it always gets to the same point, where in order to publish the article, they have to contact the particular record label and, well, not the artist, but the team that looks after the artist, and therefore lawyers that to deal not only artists, but bands and TV shows. And it always gets to the same point where, as soon as they're contacted and now lawyers get involved, the story is then dropped. So, and I've had that multiple times. So it's not the case that it's, I mean, a lot of people know about my channel. So it's not as if mainstream media are not aware of it. They are, but it gets to that point where, sadly, they don't feel that they can report. And I mean, it is a shame that there's obviously a lot of pressure to keep it quiet, because no reporter, or actually somebody did release something, but it was on their own independent news channel that, you know, didn't have very many viewers at all. So that's totally going to fly under the radar. When it gets into kind of national media, that's where the lawyers start getting involved. And yeah, sadly, even with a publication in the UK here that is one of the main, I'd say probably the main one of two news organisations and papers that are released every day, even they thought, well, they couldn't do the story because of the amount of pressure from lawyers, even though all they're doing is showing something that's factually true. And yeah, they even contacted another producer in order to get them to verify what I was doing and to go through the same process and do the same tests on the data, and they got exactly the same results. So they could say to this paper, this national media company, they said, yeah, what he's saying is true. I've just done the same test, exactly the same results, and you will keep on getting these results. But this is the problem that, it's just when you're talking about record labels who have potentially millions, if not billions, to spend on legal cases, papers, even though they might be making millions themselves, they're not making billions. So yeah, it's very difficult for them. A reporter would have to put his career potentially on the line, even though they're just saying what is true. And I guess this is the thing about YouTube, it is that I can say, like, I'm on YouTube now, as you can see, and I can say it, at least on my channel, and I can show that it's all objective, it is proof, and that it is totally true. And if it weren't true, my videos wouldn't exist. They wouldn't be allowed to exist, because those same legal teams would have taken them down in a heartbeat. But they know, like the legal team, even if they don't know about the artists' performances, they would have asked the team and, the technicians, the producers, the people involved with the shows, they would have asked them, is what he's saying true? And they know that what I'm saying is true, but they know that what I'm showing, there's no other explanation for it. So it's a shame, but it was interesting. Maybe that was a comment from somebody who hasn't watched my channel, but they don't obviously appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people do know about my channel and they do know what's going on, but it's something that they can't talk about. And I mean, that's a whole another argument, or should I say discussion, whether you should be able to publish something that is true. And not only is it true, but it's true and can be cross-referenced and tested in order to show that it is true. And that is still not being allowed to be presented or published, because that result, or people knowing that, might be detrimental to your business. You think, well, surely the truth, well, I know the world we live in, it's not the case, but in the world that I live in, or I would like to live in, you'd think that surely the truth is more important than somebody else's financial gain from the lie. But that's not the way the world works, unfortunately. So there we have it. That's just a comment that I saw earlier that was interesting. So you can take it from me that, it's not the case that it's nobody's wanting to report on it. They literally don't have the pockets, like the money in their pockets in order to publish it, because even though what they're saying, that they would win the court case, but it's the cost of it that they aren't able to take on. So it's a shame, but like I said, I'll just keep on doing what I do here. And I think this is probably the reason why recently the audience has been restricted on YouTube, because that they can't take my videos down because I'm just presenting facts, but they can limit the audience, so limit the amount of people that are seeing the videos. So it's a bit of a shame. But anyway, back to business for tonight's live stream, and I can see that we're approaching 300 likes in that likeometer box that we have. 295. So 5 more to go. So 55 more people to then bust out the guitar and have a fill jam at the end of the live stream. I can see that there have been donations, and there have been some donations over on PayPal. This is something that I didn't set up. I didn't get this to where we were last time, and I think last time we had Karen's donation. The quote about pizza. So right, that's now set up, but let me get through the super chat donation window, because we've had a few donations in there. Thank you guys. Orlando donated $5 and said, hey Philip, happy birthday to your sister. So thank you for that. And Valhalla donated £20, That's a straight up donation, so thank you for that. Orlando donated $2 again and says, sorry, Philip, happy birthday to your mama. So thank you for that correction. And Elaine has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that. And Elaine says, would you show us the back of your hair, pretty please, with a smiley face? So, I probably could do, but I don't know what it looks like at the back. So it could look ridiculous, but how would I, maybe I can just, I don't know if I've got enough space to spin around, but I'll spin around and theoretically that will show the back of my hair. So, oh, hang on. I can't go around because my seat's going to get stuck. So maybe if I go... I need to get the 360 degrees of available spin. Oh, and I just hit the desk on the way round. So there you go. I don't know whether... Well, obviously you could see the back. I don't know what it looks like. But it probably just looks like that, but a bit further back. So... there we go. That was the back of my head. I suppose because this is on YouTube, you can just go and rewind it if you want to see the back of my head. It's not particularly interesting. So yeah, I mean the only interesting bit, but sometimes they're hidden, sometimes they're not. I have white hairs at the back here. I guess it depends on where the parting happens as to how much of the white hairs show at the back. But I do know, right, I'll talk about the hair a little bit, and you might have, I don't know whether with the lighting you can see my hair or not, but at the back it's layered as to how it should be, or yeah, the hair dresser said that at the back she's kind of layered it. But the problem with my hair at the moment is that the top parts are too short and the side bits are, well, they were too long, so she's kind of make those shorter. And then she's tried to, I mean, this bit kind of always goes a bit crazy and kind of goes out to the side. So she's lightened all that up again, or lightened that up. And the top, she's kind of lightened as well. But what needs to happen is the hair is a work in progress, because we've got to wait for, she said, about 8 to 10 weeks in order for the top bits that are too short to grow out a little bit. Because even though they should be short and kind of layered, they've just been cut, you know, much too short. So we've got to wait for the hair to recover, so that the top bits grow down a little bit. And this is the other thing, that when I had my hair cut, I had, you know, they wash your hair, and then she asked me, you know, what I wanted, and I then explained about, you know, how my hair was and how it is, and how it was kind of going straight down into kind of like a bit of a slide kind of look. So she's done what she can in order to kind of balance it out a bit. But yeah, they wash your hair, and then she cut my hair, and then she dried my hair, and then we kind of did the fringe. And with the fringe, when I was there, and this is the thing about my hair, it's totally crazy, because when I was there, the fringe was probably just above my eyebrows, but now it's gone up maybe half an inch again. But having said that, we have to wait, what, 8 weeks until I then go back for another haircut to kind of balance it all out. So that means that this fringe has got to last 8 weeks. So it's probably good that it's a bit higher, because at least I've now got time for it to grow down and I won't be as blinded as before. So yeah, that's the hair update. I guess it's quite a big one, because it's a new cut, and yeah, we're kind of halfway into the journey. Got to wait another 8 weeks for it to sort itself out. But thankfully, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the hair will keep growing, and then we can kind of work through it. So anyway, there we go. Tammy has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, your hair looks lovely. Happy birthday to your mum. So thank you for that. And Timothy has donated $19.99. So thank you for that, Tim. And that is a straight up donation without a message. We will just quickly jump over to the PayPal window. To jump in there is Bryony, who has donated £5, and the message is, up the Spurs. So thank you for that. And that's not rude or anything. So, yeah, I'll just see Orlando's donated again, so I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur are the team that I support in the Premier League. But, and this is a football team, but they finished, well, they haven't finished yet. It's the last day of the season on Sunday. But they are currently 17th out of 20, which means that they're the worst they can be without being relegated to now the league below. But somehow, don't ask me how, they've managed to win a European Cup, which is called the Europa League. So they've saved all of their best form and their best playing for this particular competition. And usually the teams that win that competition are doing really well in their leagues. And, you know, it's not the Champions League, which is the main European competition, where, you know, teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man United back in the day, not anymore. Tottenham played Man United in the Europa League final, and that's who we beat in order to win it. But yeah, all of the Bayern Munich as well, all of those teams that have done really well in Europe and won the Champions League. Yeah, this is the Europa League, so it's like the one below that. But even still, to win that competition is crazy considering the season that we've had. So yeah, there was a bus running through Tottenham earlier. I wasn't there, obviously. But yeah, amazing. It's kind of weird because it still feels like Tottenham haven't won anything, even though they have, because of the season, thinking that you've done so badly. It's really weird the team to have done so badly, but then win a really good competition. So yeah, I don't know how that works, but it did work, and it's great that Tottenham have won some silverware for the first time in 17 years, and I think the first European trophy in about 40 years, or 45 years, something crazy. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Bryony. And Elrod has donated £6 as well, so thank you for that, and that's a straight up donation. And Ian's donated £1 as well. That's a straight up donation as well. Thank you for that, Ian. And Mitch Marie has donated £4, so thank you for that. And the message is, why do guitar teachers focus more on theory rather than teaching students to come up with melodies, or can it not be taught? Happy birthday to your mum. Hope you guys have a splendid day. So thank you for that. And I mean, this is all, when you're talking about guitar teachers, I don't think they all focus on theory or focus more on theory. I certainly didn't. I was always teaching the student whatever they wanted to learn. Like if they said, right, I just want to be able to, you know, rock out and play guitar solos, then I would teach them how to do that. If they wanted to learn a particular song or they're a big fan, there's one kid, I say kid, he's probably in his mid to late teens, but he was a massive fan of Blink 182 and Nirvana, so he just wanted to learn loads of songs. So that's what we did. I just, you know, that's what he wanted to do, so that's what I taught him to do. And yeah, you know, I might have students where the parents want them to, you know, pass their, you know, grade 3 exam, for example. I did have a student that wanted to do that. So yeah, we go more along the theory approach that way. But I would say generally, people who wanted to play the guitar wanted to play the guitar. They weren't really bothered about, you know, putting the guitar to one side and let's sit down and let me teach you theory. They just wanted to, you know, make noise, make music. So I would teach them how to do that. And yeah, so in my case, I didn't focus more on theory. What I would do is I would teach them theory as we went along, just as a byproduct of learning. Like if you're learning a song and I say that, right, for example, a Green Day song, we're going to be using power chords. And then they'll say, well, what's a power chord? And I'll say, well, a power chord is your root note and the fifth played together. And they'll say, what's a fifth? And I'd say, well, a fifth is the fifth note of the scale. So when you're going do, re, mi, fa, so, so, that's the fifth note you hear. So that's the fifth. So when you go do, so, do, so, do, re, mi, fa, so. So then they understand, hopefully from that, they would understand that, oh, right. So whatever key you're in, so if you're in a particular key, like major, it would have been there, major key, it means that the fifth one along, and do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do is the major scale. So major and major, just count it along. And everybody now at home, if you can, you don't even have to sing it. If you can think of that scale, you now know, if I said, right, well, where's the second? Which note, which note is the second? Which note is, the third, the fourth, the fifth? Like sus4, for example, which is like a chord variation with a suspended fourth. It sounds really complicated, but you say, well, where would that note be? Well, it's a fourth. So it's the fourth note in the scale. So you start to understand it, or hopefully people would understand it just when I was talking them through it, that we'll say, right, we're going to do that. So it means that, they're moving that chord about. And I always remember, because I remember things, I think, more melodically as to how it sounds rather than how it's written down. When I think of the fifth, I always think of The Wizard of Oz, where the flying monkeys, or I think it was might not have been specifically the flying monkeys, but the Wicked Witch has the, I don't know what to call her evil army of people. You can tell that, I haven't seen it in a very long time. But anyway, they used to go, oh, oh. And then what else did they say? I don't know what the words were. But the melody was, ah, 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 ah. So if you're ever trying to find the fifth, that just think of that, the Wizard of Oz, because that's it. That's your root note. Ah. And the top note, is going to be the fifth. And it doesn't matter where you start that. I could go, I could move it anywhere, and I'm always getting the fifth. So, and obviously the more you get used to it, you just know that as the sound, as the fifth. But anyway, there's an insight into my teaching of theory, relating it to The Wizard of Oz and flying monkeys and the Wicked Witch of the West, I believe. So but to my mind, I think if people have a melody, it helps, because when you're playing your guitar, if you played a note, you went and then you went hopefully you start to make that link between that melody, what it sounds like, and the fact that the is a fifth. So anyway, but that's how you work it out. So I never focused on theory. I would just mention it, probably not even for as long as this, because when you're playing the guitar, they run through the scale, how I would have taught them to play it, and then they'll realise that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just counting up to that, and that's why it's a fifth. So anyway, and then obviously that would take probably 30 seconds to explain. Then we get into the song. We get into actually playing, which I think is the more enjoyable part of it. And when you're creating, if you want to write melodies, I think being able to understand music as a sound, it means that it facilitates the writing and having the ability to create music, to create melodies yourself, because you're not working it out like a maths equation, like what should I do here? Which notes am I allowed? Which notes should I go to? You can just play a note and then come up with a melody yourself on top of that. And once you get used to where the notes are, you'll be able to play that melody. And you won't have to think about it too much. I mean, other people could write down your melodies if they want, which is what happens when songwriters create songs. They might not even have the ability to write music themselves, but they can create a song and then other people can write it down if they want to and put it in a book, but you don't need that skill, or should I say that ability, to write things down in order to create it in the first place. The writing is a secondary thing. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that. And right, let me just see. Okay, right, we have had another donation here. Karen has donated £7.08, so thank you for that, Karen. And the message is: greetings from beautiful California, Phil, sending wishes for a quick recovery from surgery to Vince Gutera. So yeah, thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, I hope Vince, that you recover quickly. I'm not up to speed with what has been going on, but I'm sure everybody wishes that for you in the live chat room as well. But thank you for that. And oh, hang on, is that just the... Oh, right. So the same donations come through again from Karen with exactly the same message. So yeah, we can sort that out afterwards for reversing that. It's obviously the same thing accidentally posted through twice. Blaine has donated £1.57. So thank you for that. And the message is thanks. So yeah, no problem. Thank you for that donation, but also for tuning in, and for all of you guys tuning in, watching the videos, interacting. I think the shorts videos have been helping out a bit, and those have been pushed out to people. And I did mention in my update last night over on Patreon that somebody messaged to say that they weren't getting notifications, but then they started getting the notifications for the shorts. And then when I released my video, which was Wednesday night, they got the notification for that. So it might have jump started the notification thing with the shorts, who knows. And the thing about these shorts is yeah, they're just shorts of the main videos, and because I've just been doing it really quickly, I've just been choosing more recent videos. But in the future, I mean, I'll do it for all of them. So all of the analysis videos where we're looking at vocalists or bands or guitarists and all those ones that I've done, those will be shorts in the future at some point, because yeah, there will be, you know, a lot of different, you know, focus points for each of the shorts, but just the videos that I do in general. I know that more recently it's been very much related and focused on pitch correction and auto-tune. The massive problem with it is that so much of what I'm being sent to check out as an authentic band or an authentic performance is actually pitch corrected. So this is the problem, that so many people are now taking that they're going to a particular video or band because they like authentic artists and vocals, but they're not realizing what they're actually watching. So yeah, there's a particular band that actually I was asked to look at ages ago. I was going to say months, but I don't know, could have been a year ago, who knows. But I'm now, because that particular band are now getting even more popular on YouTube, I'm getting request after request after request after request to take a look at this particular band. And I think I'm going to have to do it on the channel, just because there are so many people asking for me to feature this band. And the reason that I haven't is because I was answering everybody's emails with what I know, and I had spoken to the person who actually makes the videos and mixes the sound. So they told me one thing, and I would just relay that to people asking me. But I have looked into it a little bit more deeply over because the amount of emails that I've been getting. So I just looked at a performance and I noticed a few things that, yeah, is maybe contradictory to what I've been told. So yeah, I think it's really important to try, and I don't know how we're going to achieve this, but try and get people to be honest with what they're doing. And like, even if it's people who are, say for example, the band is, you know, kids or maybe teenagers, for the people that are putting that video together, because the teenagers aren't doing it and the kids aren't doing it, they're not editing the audio themselves in a digital audio workstation. They're just doing it because they love to perform and they love music, and that's great. But I think it's really important for the people putting it together to be honest about what they have done to the kids' performance. Because as soon as we start looking at, and this is the thing, that people will look at a particular kid playing guitar or a kid singing and will say, oh wow, that's amazing, one of the best voices or one of the best players I've ever seen. And they won't realise that what they're watching isn't happening. That even though it looks live, it's not. It's pre-recorded and it's post-edited and overdubbed and all these different things. And yes, I don't know how we're going to achieve it, but we've got to try and get some normality back to music, because everything is now being put at this post-processed level where even live performances now, as impromptu as they might seem and as genuine as they might seem, you can't trust that. So yeah, so again, there will have to be another video next week where I have to point that out, because the problem, I think, is that if I'm not pointing it out, it means that in the future we could be in a world where we're never actually ever hearing genuine artists or genuine live performances, because everybody is assuming it is all genuine. And I think, well, where's the art form gone? If we're starting to put everything through a computer and it's just giving us that series of zeros and ones, that every single vocalist is on A440 and that's it. There's no diversity in music. It's all going to be the same. So yeah, as much as I know people say, oh, can you do more of this type of video, more of that type of video? At the moment, this is why I started Authentic Vocal, is so that authentic performances I can feature over there and you will know that they are genuine performances. I'm never going to put anything on Authentic Vocal that isn't 100% genuine. And even from an instrumental perspective, I know that people have asked, well, oh, can you do another channel that's looking at instrumentalists, whether they are actually playing live or not? Because there are a lot of performances on YouTube that are not actually live, but they look live. And some guitar channels who have millions of subscribers, they're not actually playing it live. They've recorded it, done most likely comp takes, and then they've sat down and pretended to play it. And of course it sounds absolutely perfect because they've made sure it is. It's very much the same as pitch correcting vocals, post pitch correcting them to make sure that it all sounds perfect before it goes out, even though it looks like it's live. So yeah, I don't have time to do that as well, like now getting into the instrumental side of it, but I'd say generally the instrumental side of it is more reliable in live performances. But if there is a particular performance where what we're seeing is not happening, then I point that out as well on this channel. So yeah, I will do that. And over on Authentic Vocal, I think if somebody sent me a performance that was clearly not live with instrumentation, I'd probably just say to them very early on that at the moment I'm focusing on authentic vocals, but also having the authenticity as an artist and not kind of pretending to play. I think the thing that I've got as an advantage doing it is that because I play the guitar and I've played live and I know how it all works, I've got a lot of experience in it. So as soon as somebody sends me something and there's anything that raises a flag, then I can just kindly say that it's not something that I'll be able to authenticate, unfortunately. But this is why over on Authentic Vocal, it's going to be genuine 100% live performances and just the artistic talent of the individual or individuals. So anyway, I will be pushing that a little bit more in the future. At the moment, I'm just trying to get everything here straightened out with the whole subscriber thing and the shadow ban type thing that stopping people getting notifications. But we seem to be just about riding out the storm at the moment. So Anyway, thank you for this donation of £24, Connie. And the message is, hi Phil, your former students probably remember the theory you taught since they learned it in context of real songs. Enjoy your weekend. Peace, love, and rock. Connie. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, I hope so. I think it's quite a simple principle that I know I can remember teaching one guitarist who had, I guess, tried to learn theory themselves, and they didn't, well, they knew some things, but they're really confused about other things. So when I said, because they knew the major scale, and when I said about, playing a major chord, when I counted out the notes, they couldn't believe that that's what it was. So when they counted through, so then they were playing, like, for example, in the major scale, when you play through the major scale, when you get to the seventh note, that's the major seventh. So that's when you play your major seventh chord, that's the note that you hold down. So they couldn't believe that they had suddenly learned all of the notes that they were so confused about trying to learn it from the internet or whatever. When you learn it in context, you just literally count through the notes, and then you're good to go. And by the way, if you just keep on counting up through the scale, when you get to the seventh, that'll be the major seventh playing through the major scale. So there you go. I think it then becomes a case of not trying to memorize. I think the problem was he was trying to memorize things from books and from the internet, but it didn't make sense. But then as soon as you apply it to something that they know inside out, like the major scale, then that's all they needed to know. And then when you are playing a major seventh chord, you know why it's that, because that major seventh note is in there. So it's same for a seventh, if we're kind of getting away from that major seventh. But this is it. And the third and the major third and the minor third, when you play through a minor scale, the third note is going to be the minor third, and in the major scale it's going to be a major third when you go to the third note. So I think it probably does help to know a little bit of theory from that scales perspective, but I would teach my students that anyway. So I kind of roll that into the efficiency on the fretboard. Like when you're playing, for example, first finger and then third finger, you'd be 2 frets higher than that. So you're always keeping 1 finger per fret, and I would teach them just the major and the minor scale so that they could play through them in the most efficient way possible. Like, for example, starting on your root note is all getting a bit complicated now for non-guitar players, but starting on your root note on the low E string with your second finger, because then you can go second finger, little finger, and then your major third is going to be your first finger, so you're in position, you don't have to move to play that scale. So like I said, just efficiency around the fretboard. But anyway, thank you for that, Connie. And Diane has donated £10 and 62 pence, so thank you for that. And the message is, in your older videos, you gave a brief history. Do you think these new YouTube artists are likely to have an interesting history? So thank you for that. I think a lot of the YouTube artists at the moment are a lot younger, so they haven't got a history yet. Sometimes if I was analysing a singer in the 1970s, for example, we were, 40 years later when I was doing those kinds of videos. So it meant that they had all of the history up until that point, and then the 40 years potential career after that I could then talk about. And the other thing about those videos, kind of way back in the day when I used to do kind of the background on the artist, that is something that I would look into, and I'd remember as much as I could so that I didn't have to try and read it off a script somewhere. But the other thing, the reason that I moved away from those kinds of videos, even though I know that people find the history interesting, is I wanted to focus on the transformative content, because by fair use, you've got to transform what you're looking at. So it means explaining about techniques and teaching things so that somebody learns something about the performance. But I think when I started to focus on like the history of the artist, for example, that isn't transforming. I've obviously explained about the live performance, but I felt like, well, to be truly transformative, I shouldn't really have the history, because the history is nothing to do with the live performance. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure, but by getting rid of that and spending more time on the performance, it means that from a copyright perspective, the videos are a lot more kind of watertight, so that they are absolutely fair use. So if there were an investigation into lots of channels, a lot of channels would probably get shut down, but I know that mine would be above board. And even like I said, those earlier videos are still fair use, because I do explain about the performance in the first kind of half of the video. But yeah, if people were to tune in and I was just talking about the particular artist, yeah, it's something that I want to make sure that it's as transformative as it can be. And I know that what I do is covered by fair use and transformative, according to lawyers that I know. So as long as they say, yeah, that's all above board, then that's absolutely fine. I know that it can only be decided upon by a judge, but I think anybody watching my videos, especially when we're getting the pitch data up on screen and we're comparing one performance with another performance and looking for what's been pitch corrected, that is all transformative. I'm not just listening to the song saying, oh, this is great, I love this song, please like and subscribe. It's not that there is something transformative going on. I'm showing people things about the vocal, and even looking at a vocal as a line is something that people wouldn't have seen before from that performance, because now we're turning audio information into visual information, so you can see it on screen. So yeah, anyway, thank you for that, Diane. And Karen's donated £7.08. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, will you still check out the older requests? I sent one in perhaps a bit over a year ago, before all the auto-tune, pitch correction and miming took over, but it might be buried. Laugh out loud. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, the problem that I've got is that it's only me doing everything. So as you can imagine, with the subscriber count and the amount of requests that are coming through, the request list is ridiculously long. And yeah, sometimes it is a particular case that one video or one performance is requested over and over and over. And this is the thing about the video that I'll do next week. I'm now, because they're getting more popular on YouTube, I'm now getting request after request after request after request. So it means that I don't have time to type out the same answer over and over again, because sometimes it'll be a slightly different answer depending on what the person is saying in their email. So it's quicker for me to do a video, and technically that was probably requested about a year ago, but I technically still haven't got to that yet. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, all I can do is my best with the requests, but I think that there are probably requests that I see. I mean, it's great to look at great performances and point out that, a particular vocalist was so good, or that a particular guitarist was so good, or a live performance was so good, and these were the reasons why. But that kind of video doesn't potentially impact the future of the music industry. I could be doing that video all the time, but the problem that I've got is that I know that if I was just doing those kinds of videos, week in, week out, I can see out of the corner of my eye the music industry just going down and down and down, and just descending into something that is eventually going to be like AI, that you don't need artists anymore, because you can just ask the AI to do it. The AI can come up with a picture, release an AI album, and you think, well, where's the artistry gone? So yeah, it's very difficult for me to kind of let that happen out of the corner of my eye while I'm just looking at old great performances, because those old great performances will always be there, but future great performances are potentially going to be extinct. So that's what I'm going to try and, that's what I want to try and avoid happening, so that people in 100 years time can look back at, a performance in 2028 or 2030, and it all be genuine, and for them to say, look at how good this particular singer or this band were, because this is all fully live and they've genuinely worked at their talent in order to be able to achieve this. But at the moment, it feels like everyone in 100 years' time will be looking back, and maybe all the music then will be either AI or just all A440, so that nothing is now the human voice or human expression. But I'm hoping that, maybe in the future we can at least either get back to that or have another avenue for people to go down who want to see those genuine performances. So this is the thing that I'm kind of battling with at the moment. I know that I could be looking at great performances, but I want to try and ensure that there will be great performances in the future of the music industry, because otherwise it's going to be a very depressing place if everything you listen to is A440, because I just can't listen to it. It just sets off almost an alarm in your ear because it just sounds so mechanical. So anyway, that's the problem at the moment, and like I said, a huge reason for setting up Authentic Vocal. But at least over on Authentic Vocal there will be genuinely live performances. That it might be the case that I start to put the Authentic Vocal performances into analysis videos, so at least we can have a bit of a hopefully reality check about the bands and artists that are genuinely performing live, and I still cover the other things that people are misinterpreting as live when in fact they're not. So that might be a way for me to kind of do it in the future. So, but again, that's not looking at historic performances and looking at how great they are. It's showing recent performances from recent artists and showing how good they are, because I think it's really important to kind of big up the artists that are genuinely doing it and the genuinely talented artists. So anyway, thank you for that. And Millie's donated £7.08, so thank you for that, Millie. And the message is, thanks for all you do, Phil. I so enjoy your podcast. You make things so interesting and understandable. Thanks again. So thank you for that donation and for watching. Right, we are time is moving on. Is that 2 minutes to midnight? Right, let's bring the vote to a close. I think because I've been talking about lots of different things tonight, the live stream Friday has moved on very quickly, and we are going to be having a Phil Jam after this. We have a picture corner as well. Okay. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Okay, the Phil Jam's 5 minutes and 53 seconds, so we will jump into that at the end of the live stream because we've hit the target. Now, where were we with the donations? Tammy, did I get that far? Tammy said, hi Phil, your hair looks lovely. Happy birthday to your mum. So thank you for that. That's $5 donation. Timothy, we got to Timothy, $19.99. Orlando donated $2. Thank you for that. Again, the message is no need for extensions in your hair. So thank you for that. Yeah, the hairdresser did say that I do have a lot of hair, but I think that's that's quite evident. But apparently it's very thick as well, which is good. So thank you for that, Orlando. Jan has donated 50 Norwegian kroner. Thank you for that. And the message is, have a nice celebration with your mum and give her regards from a Norwegian troll. So thank you for that. Maltesers donated $4.99. $4.99. The message is, hi Phil, can you link the full video that's the parent of the short in the short? I like the Meteor versions. So thank you for that. And yeah, I try to do that as much as I can. I mean, sometimes they don't work, but there should be a related video with it. The only thing is that when I do it, the software that I use for the shorts, I can't do it on that. So, and that automatically, to make it easier, they do it like upload to YouTube in one click. So I do that, and then I have to go onto YouTube in order to then attach the related video. So maybe sometimes it doesn't show up, but it should do. And I will endeavour to keep on going on YouTube and checking and adding if it hasn't been added. But thank you for that. And Weso has donated $2. Thank you for that. Straight up donation. And then Ruben's donated 5,000 Argentinian pesos, I think, from memory. And the message is, hello Phil, I'm from Argentina. Thanks Phil for posting videos about the Gibb brothers. This donation is equivalent US $4 $4.35. So that's $4.35. So thank you for that. Right, let's jump into You Give Love a Bad Name. I think that's the one that won out. And this is myself and Cena, a drummer here on YouTube, with our collaboration on this particular song. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock!
Shot through the heart and you're too plain, darling, you give love a bad name.
And there we have it. That was myself and Cena with our version of You Give Love a Bad Name, the Bon Jovi classic, of course. So, we're going to be jumping into Picture Corner as well before the fill jam. How long have we got? We've got about 10 minutes, so we might be able to fit this all in. So, let's get this up on screen and let's try and do the screen capture, see if it does appear. It did appear, but it's over to the left hand side. So let me see if I can grab it and move it over here. Right, so first of all, we have Kevin, or I might have done this in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. Kevin has sent this through, and this is a sign that you might not be able to see. It's too small on the screen, but I believe it is First Great Western Service to Reading calling at. That's what the woman says on the train. If you get the train to Reading and it calls at, Burnham and Taplow and obviously Reading at the end, but Maidenhead. So, long story short, Kevin is pointing at the stop that is Maidenhead. So, I think he is anyway. Oh yeah, here we go. So it says underneath, from Kevin, next stop, Maidenhead. I can't see it on my screen, but that must be what it is, because it's westbound platform 3. So, right. Anyway, getting into the next one, it is here. Right. Yeah, I have done this in the wrong order, but you can see that Liz says, just get this advert, Liz says, representing Wings of Pegasus at the AC/DC concert in Nissan Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee. Excellent show. So thank you for that. And we've synchronized our AC/DC shirts, because I've got one on tonight as well. Right, and there's one more as well. And this is Barbara. Let me get the message with this. And it says, at the Red Robin restaurant in Brookfield, Wisconsin, with newest grandson Liam, of course wearing my Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. So thank you for that, Barbara, and thank you guys for sending those in, and Laura for linking me to them. So that is Picture Corner for tonight. So let's get rid of that and back to me. Right. Now, what do we do? I can see Sue's just donated, so let me reference that before we set up everything for the guitar. Sue donated $19.99. Thank you for that. The message is, so sorry I'm late. Hope everyone is having a great live stream. Yeah, good to see you, Sue. Yeah, better late than never, as they say. And, Sue has donated £20 on PayPal. And Sue said, so sorry I missed most of the live stream. What are your thoughts on the new hairdresser? You look great. Hope you're pleased with the results, and a very happy birthday to your mum. So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, I think that the hair is fine. Certainly a lot more manageable than it was because of the haircut. But yeah, still a bit of a work in progress. But this is it, that I think once the top bit grows out, and then she can kind of style it how she wants to do it, then that's fine. I think that I don't know, in the past there have been occasions, maybe in that last video as well, where the sides really go out. I think a lot of the reason behind that, I mean, it might have been most likely the shampoo that I was using that was, thicker, fuller hair, and it really did make your hair really thick. But also, whenever I was recording a cover video and had the lights on and I was doing the filming, setting it all up, I'd get very hot, which means that I was probably, it was just an environment for big hair, because the hotter I got, the bigger the hair got. So this is it. On the live stream gig that I did, on that you can see my hair is kind of getting bigger by the second because of the heat in the room, but also me being or getting hotter and hotter under lights. Generally, that's how it happens. But on the live streams and in these videos, this is my hair without it. Like, I try to keep the room relatively cool. So, yeah, it's more comfortable. But anyway, thank you for that. So, right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's Fill Jam. So, what do we have? It is Fender Strat. And what do we have over here? Okay, Fill Jam. 237. Okay, here's the link. I couldn't see the link there for a second. Right. Okay. So this is. Have I got everything? Have I done everything? That's on. That's on. That is there. Oh, zoomed out. I think I'm already zoomed out. The red dude's just going to say, yeah, he's just going to say we're already zoomed out. So we've got that, and move that a little bit closer. Right, as for the levels, if you could let me know what it's like, that would be good. Oh, this is dramatic, melodic, rock backing track in F sharp minor. And this is from YT Jam Tracks on YouTube, obviously. Let's jump into it and see if I can actually hear anything. Which I can't at the moment. Okay, here we go. Clean. I had to work my way out of that because we went quiet again. Oh, there we have it. I wasn't looking at the screen, so I didn't see that it was about to finish, but that was it. Dramatic. I was hoping that maybe it would have finished and I could have not resolved it. I guess I could have just left it, but had to kind of get a little bit of that F sharp going. But anyway, that was dramatic melodic rock backing track in F sharp minor from YT Jan Tracks on YouTube, and that's a capital Y and a capital T. So yeah, thank you. I can see Joe said told him at 5:53. I wasn't paying attention. That's the problem, but I guess you can kind of get away with it because it was more of an ending than a sudden stop. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. But anyway, thank you Songs of Life, who has donated $2. Thank you for that. And the message is thank you and thank you. So right, we are going to be calling things to a close because we have run out of time for tonight on Friday night. We're going to be here with another video on Sunday night. Look out for that one. Like I said, it's available at the moment because I have already recorded it, uploaded it, and checked that it's not going to get blocked on copyright, so you can look out for that. It's going to be an interesting one. And Tuesday, live streaming again, same time, same place. If you can join me, that would be very much appreciated. And yeah, well, technically the weekend has already kind of started because it is Friday night. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday if you can make it, because I'll be here again. Look out for the video on Sunday and try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!